If you came late to this, Sunday, we are doing a marathon live stream, 12 p.m., noon Eastern, because we're launching statusquo.com on Sunday. And super excited. Statusquo.com will be launched Sunday. I will be live noon Eastern time. Noon Eastern time, we are doing a marathon live stream. We'll have some surprises for you. And we are also going to be trying to raise money for the GoFundMe and trying to get our first members signed up to statusquo.com because we are going to have membership on Status Quo. So I'll be live at 12 p.m. Eastern time. You on the West Coast, hopefully you wake up by 9 a.m. You could join me. I don't know how long I'm going to go. As long as you'll take me, I'll be live. So, bottom line, make sure to your establishment auntie, make sure to your neoliberal friends that you correct the record on Joe Biden. Because if he runs, the media is going to cheerlead for him the same way they did for Hillary Clinton. And he is not a friend of civil rights. His record has been demonstrably awful for African Americans. And he is a friend of the banks, a friend of big oil, and a friend of big pharma. I don't care what they call him. He's not middle-class Joe. He also voted for NAFTA, and he was for TPP. So get out of here with that bullshit. So, before I move on, if you didn't follow yesterday, we now have a sponsor, our first sponsor. It's MikeGoat, which is a cool video app. So get on MikeGoat. Go and download it. Right now, it's only available for iOS. So if you have an iPhone, definitely download MikeGoat. MikeGoat. Once you download it, join the Status Quo community. We are the featured app. What MikeGoat does is it's a video debate app. So they push topics that could be debated on one way or the other, and you could go on there and debate strangers or friends. Who knows? So Status Quo right now has my videos, and I've done 2 videos for them, and the recent one I did was on Prop C, which is on the ballot in San Francisco. It's a ballot measure that will raise taxes 0.5% on companies making more than $50 million a year, like Twitter, so that they could pay to get people off the streets. Homelessness is out of control in San Francisco, in large part because companies like Twitter, YouTube, Facebook have created gentrification on steroids and have been driving poor people out. And a lot of those homeless people used to be working people that are now homeless and can't afford to live in San Francisco. So for measly 0.5% increase in taxes that Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and all them should be paying, Prop C would get passed and we'd have less people on the streets. There's also money going for mental health treatment for those homeless people. I think it's a worthy cause, and if you want to debate me on it, my video's up there. You click on the video and you could debate me on it, or you could agree with me, whatever you want. But the more people that download MikeGoat, MikeGoat, the more people that download it, the more people that interact with it, the better for Status Quo. We are doing this business not by taking money from big companies, not by taking money from big Democratic or Republican Party bosses. We're not taking any of that money. We're doing it through sponsorships, partnerships, and membership with people and companies that are aligned with our vision. So, we took on Obama today. We've taken on Joe Biden, middle-class Joe, which is laughable. So now let's take on Paul Ryan, who is a grade A douchebag, if you agree. And he's leaving Congress, but on his way out, he's lying about Medicare for all, and he's trying to scare people. So let me play you this ridiculous clip from our friend, Speaker Paul Ryan, a.k.a. an Ayn Rand worshiper. Okay? You ready for Paul Ryan? Here we go.
Yeah, this idea of Medicare for all, Medicare sounds good, so it should be for everybody. What that means is you will destroy and obliterate the private health insurance system, the employer-sponsored health insurance system. Oh, and by the way, you'll hasten the bankruptcy of Medicare. That's the thing with socialism. Maggie Thatcher said it right, which is eventually you run out of other people's money to spend. Socialism is long on promises and extremely short on delivering on its promises. And so what Medicare for all basically proposes to do is completely destroy the kind of health insurance system that families who get their health insurance from work, hurt seniors who are counting on Medicare's promises, and put government in between ourselves and our own health care. It is the hollow, empty promise of socialism that will do so much to harm the very issues we care about: good health care, access to good health care, having choices, having innovation. Socialism ruins those things.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Where do you even start with that bullshit? Where do you start with that nonsense? And of course, Paul Ryan's going to go become a lobbyist somewhere when he leaves Congress. He might even become a lobbyist for the pharmaceutical industry. I'd put my money on it. Trudy, thank you for the $2 in the super chat. Do D's want minorities to vote? Yeah, they want minorities to vote, and then they don't want to do anything for those minorities when they get into office. That's the Democrats for you. But first of all, Paul Ryan says that Medicare for all would obliterate private insurance, would obliterate Medicare for seniors, would obliterate all these things. First of all, private insurance can exist. These Republicans love themselves some competition, right? Love competition. Well, if an individual doesn't want government health care, that individual can go get private insurance if they want. Nobody's stopping them. It's the same thing with free public college. If you're an individual who doesn't want free public college and wants to go to a fancier, more expensive private school, go for it if you have the money for it. So Medicare for all would not totally obliterate private insurance. What it would do is offer a government plan. Okay? So yes, it would severely decimate private insurance because more people would want to go on government health insurance, but nobody is mandated. Nobody is mandated. So for example, I have a friend in Europe, in a socialized country. When I was in Germany, we spoke, and for a rare illness that person had, yes, Germany has universal single-payer Medicare for all, if you wish, but they needed to go see a specialist that was not on that system. So she did, because it was a rare illness, and she wanted the best, and she couldn't get that doctor through government health care. So she did. But for 99% of her other medical needs, it's provided by the government. So the issue isn't that Medicare for all, as Mrs. Ayn Rand himself said, would obliterate, the private insurance company. It would severely depress the private insurance company, and Paul Ryan doesn't want that because the private insurance company keeps the money flowing for him and Mitch McConnell's neck. Or turkey neck, shall I say, because Thanksgiving's coming up, so, it's a special day for turkey neck. Mitch McConnell. I mean, you can't make this nonsense up. He says it would obliterate Medicare for seniors. No, it wouldn't. Medicare would not change for seniors. This would just bring in everyone else under 55. So that's fear-mongering and nonsense. It would obliterate employer-based health insurance. Yeah, you don't need it from your employer if you're getting it from the government. And by the way, that's a good thing because employers pay money. They have to pay towards that employer health insurance. So if employers have more money that they're not paying towards health insurance, it could go to, dare I say, salaries, because they factor in the health insurance costs that they have per employee into your salary. Am I missing something here, folks? Am I naive? All this talk that it's going to obliterate this and get rid of this is nonsense. Yeah, it's going to take away certain things because you're getting health care through the government. And this is what Republicans do, and they scare the hell out of people, and they rally their base through fear and lies. And the Democrats have no message, have no real rebuttal, because they're not running on any principle, and they don't want Medicare for all because they too are servants to their donors. Servants to their donors. And thank you. We just got a contribution on GoFundMe from Ruth Rudin, $20. And Leopoldo Lemus donated $20. And Thomas donated $10 and posted a comment. Thomas Moore says, Joe7777B, don't know what that means. But thank you to all three of you. That's $70 raised in the last 10 minutes. So let's keep it going. What are we at here in the GoFundMe? We are at $13,205. So getting closer to our goal by the day. That's why we're doing the live stream Sunday. We want to get to $15,000 by the end of October. So your contributions make a big difference. $100 gets you a Status Coup hat or shirt. $127 gets you both. $200 get you a swag bag with all sorts of goodies and signed material as well. So thank you to all 223 people who have contributed, and let's keep going. So Paul Ryan is full of it. Paul Ryan is a liar, and Paul Ryan is setting up because he wants to be a lobbyist, maybe for pharmaceutical companies, maybe for hospitals, who the hell knows. Rob says, no, Jordan, we're not getting my health care from the government. What we're getting is the government paying the bill. Yes, that's a good way of saying it. And by the way, when Paul Ryan says the problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's monies, well, apparently Paul Ryan doesn't think there's any way, any time you run out of other working people and poor people's money to pay for rich people's yachts. For that cost, there's an endless amount of money. So there's never any problem with socialism for the rich. There's never any chance of running out of working people and middle-class people who end up paying for the tax cuts for the wealthy people, who end up paying for the tax cuts for the corporations, who end up paying for the subsidies to oil companies, who end up paying for subsidies to the banks, who end up paying for subsidies to Silicon Valley. There's an unlimited amount of money for that. So socialism is basically running out of money, running out of people's money to pay for heating for people's homes, to pay for food for impoverished children, running out of people's money to pay for solar and wind, running out of people's money to pay for fixing the roads, nutrition programs, education, investment in infrastructure, training, and all those things. We're running out of people. You eventually run out of people's money. But for tax cuts for the rich, you could never run out of enough middle-class money to pay for that. For endless war, you could never, ever run out of other people's money for that. Subsidies, you could never run out of people's money for that. Corporate welfare, you could never run out of working people's money for that. Because we pay for it. Because they cut programs for the middle class and for the working poor to pay for it. And for war, we all pay for it in our taxes.